Thank you. I really appreciate it, Martin. Thank you. Thank you. Why is Charlie scared to debate you? Because he gets destroyed. Because this happens. Let's just take a clip. This I had a clip that just fucking is blowing up on Instagram, or did blow up on Instagram. It went crazy. Has 7 million on Instagram, and it's literally just a compilation of me fact checking Charlie. Do y'all want to see it real quick? Do y'all want to see it? Or I mean, a lot of y'all probably have seen it already. I'll play it for people who haven't seen it. I'll play it for those that have not seen it. Let me do it real quick. Alrighty. Just while we wait for some guests, I thought this would be something interesting to do because it's only like a minute long. Oh, hold up. Let me.
To at least give Trump credit, we had no new wars for 4 years.
Well, again, there was the Turkish-Kurdish war. What was the new war caused by the Biden-Harris administration?
Putin invading Ukraine.
That wasn't caused by the Biden-Harris administration. Donald Trump believed, right, Putin over...
Hold on, I just want to stop it there. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, the amount of times that he just, like, willfully lied in this video, like, just straight up willfully lied in this video, the debate on Jubilee, and just, like, didn't care to get fact-checked is crazy. Like, this is just literally the Jubilee. By the way, if you haven't seen this, do you want to see the full debate? This is a debate on their second account that they'd never posted to their main account. So I actually might do a reaction video to this because it's actually incredibly relevant to, like, politics, and it's literally political. So I don't know why they didn't put this in, but...
Or U.S. intelligence.
Well, honestly, our U.S. intelligence was wrong.
No, it wasn't. Putin lied. Putin said he didn't interfere in the Russian election. That was proven.
Literally, though, like, he was making the argument that Trump, or that Putin specifically didn't lie when saying that that they didn't interfere in the 2016 election, which was proven to be true. That's fucking nuts.
Tell me why there was global inflation.
As I mentioned, because Western democracies all decided to pursue a deficit spending spree.
Wait, so why did it happen in Asia and Africa and South America, Central America? How did the Biden-Harris administration cause inflation?
The Inflation Reduction Act.
The Inflation Reduction Act didn't cause inflation. It was deficit reducing.
Flooding the zone.
Wait, Trump added more to the debt than Biden-Harris.
That's not true.
8.4 trillion, 4.8 trillion non-COVID related, 4.3 trillion under Biden-Harris, 2.2 trillion non-COVID related. There's higher real median wages right now than there was in 2019. But according to the St. Louis Federal Reserve.
You acknowledge people don't have purchasing power because prices are up.
Wait, that real median wages accounts for inflation. Did you know that?
Yeah, but you think people right now have the same purchasing power they did under Donald Trump?
What does real median wages mean? It means accounting for inflation. So wages have gone up accounting for inflation.
Do you know that carbon emissions were the lowest under Donald Trump they've been in human history?
That's so crazy. Right there. That's so funny. Like, I think one of the biggest takeaways that I took from this was that he doesn't fucking know what real median wages mean. He doesn't know what real GDP is. He doesn't know that that's accounting for inflation. Maybe he should have gone to college, and maybe that would have helped him at his specific profession, right? Maybe that would have been relevant to the work that he does. Maybe college wasn't a scam for me. It wasn't because I was able to dunk on him in the debate. That was so funny, dude. The amount of times he willfully lied is crazy. And I'm honestly really happy I got him on all of it. Like, I got him on all of it. The fact that he didn't know about the Committee for Responsible Federal Budgets analysis is really funny. He tried to claim that Trump added less. Like, what? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello, I'm 19.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
Why so?
I like him because...
Actually, what's your birth year, sorry?
My birth year is 2005.
What month?
May.
You're wrong, bro.
You said...
So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria listed on the screen, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. Alrighty, do give it a second, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello. I'm 20.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Why so?
Yeah, I support
Sorry, how old were you again? Sorry.
Allowing undocumented immigrants in the country.
Sure, and how old were you again?
Good for that.
How old were you again?
20.
What was your birth year?
2004.
What month?
September.
Okay, just seeing. All right, go ahead. You're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't support legal immigration, and I'm happy that Trump's administration. There's less of that. And there's more deportations.
Can you name one way mass deportation benefits our society?
One way, it enforces the law. That's the way.
Okay. So do you agree that Donald Trump pardoning violent rioters on January 6th is not enforcing the law? Do you agree you voting for a convicted criminal and letting him into the Oval Office is not enforcing the law?
Well, they did go through cases, and the law was like they did throw the book at him, and the law was enforced. And they decided that the president can be a convicted felon and be a president at the same time.
No, I'm saying you're not enforcing the law by voting for a candidate that violated the law and that pardoned people who violated the law. Not only just violated the law, but assaulted police officers in a violent insurrection at the Capitol.
Well, my candidate didn't do that. I don't support January 6th, just like I don't support the BLM riots. Yeah, he didn't do that, and he went through the law. He didn't violate the law. The Supreme Court, the people who decide the law, decided that he can be president and be a convicted felon. Is that true? Yes or no?
Well, technically, anyone who's a U.S. citizen who's of 35 years old, who was born in this country, can become president, even if they were convicted of child sexual abuse.
Yeah, he was,
and that's bad, right?
Yeah, he was the best candidate.
Do you think?
Yeah, I also think Kamala Harris.
Do you think it would be enforcing the law to vote for that candidate?
What do you mean I'm not the one who enforces the law. It's the president. I'm voting for someone because I
understand,
believe.
but you're not enforcing the law when you specifically do not, or when you support candidates that have literally gone against the law, right? In such very vast.
Well, that's
ways.
unfortunate. I wish there was a better option. I would have voted for the better option, but there wasn't.
Kamala Harris was the better option. She never pardoned violent rioters on January 6th.
Her policies,
officers.
She didn't have any real policies. Yeah.
Really?
Her only good policy.
Name one of her policies.
Trump took the tax. Yeah. Okay. The no tax on tips, for example. Yeah,
name one that she had that Trump didn't have.
One that she had that Trump didn't have. The housing, give money to kids, not to kids, to single earners. Was that not a policy? Single house earners.
How much to what single earners?
Okay, you wanted me to say the specifics?
The specific policy, yeah. $25,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers for new homes. Is that what you were trying to reference? So actually, housing affordability policy. Can you tell me Donald Trump's housing affordability policy?
Yeah, because the housing issue isn't about like the demand; it's about supply. Trump is trying to increase the supply of housing by giving tax incentives to these industries.
Which tax incentives?
Big, beautiful bill.
Because that's what the tax credit would be.
No, that would be like an incentive not for the suppliers, but for the people who already own the houses. We want a tax credit for people who are building houses.
Yeah, it is because it is specifically because it is the case that it provides an increase in demand for the good, which will then obviously make it easier not only for people to get access to housing, but it also will incentivize suppliers to build that housing. Because it essentially works.
That isn't necessarily true. The supply won't necessarily catch up to the demand. The demand could be too much.
Do you know? Okay, I have a question. When price increases, does supply increase?
When price increases, the supply increase. Not always true.
Okay, well then you're going to say that tariffs don't increase domestic production, correct?
Tariff don't increase. Tariff along with good domestic policies. So if you do a tariff along with tax policies that
just
direct
a tariff
money
alone,
gained from the tariffs.
So are you saying a tariff alone will not bring back jobs to this country?
A tariff alone? Yeah, that's not what Trump is doing. Trump is doing a tariff along with the big beautiful bill. Other policies that are going to increase.
Big beautiful bill doesn't help it in any way, which would lead to that happening. I'm so confused.
Yeah, it directs Yeah, it directs money uh through tax incentives to like more productive fields, like more productive domestic fields. So
Like,
like uh like a field that's making a lot of profit is going to get more, or like giving a lot of benefits to its employees is going to get a lot more tax right off.
you don't know anything about the
That's
bill.
true.
You are yapping right now. You know nothing about the bill. That's so clear. It sounds like you didn't
Well,
read
tell me where I'm
you
wrong.
didn't read the book
Am I
for
wrong?
class, and you're trying to show up and just make up anything on the spot
Am I wrong?
based on like what other people have said. Yes.
How?
What did I just say?
Not like I what I said was really vague because I don't have the bill in front of me. I don't have the specifics. I didn't think I was actually going to get up, but
Yeah, so you didn't have any of the tax credit in
yeah, I'm not
specific.
prepared.
You said it went to more productive fields. You don't even know what that is. You're not prepared? Sure, that's fine. But
Yeah.
like, you weren't prepared to vote?
Yeah. Okay. Big beautiful bill, along with also like things like deals, like the deal Trump did with was it Honda, where they said they're going to increase domestic production, things like that too. Like
But
that's a
there was no
specific
deal
example,
he made
correct?
with Honda that got them to increase domestic production.
Okay,
Right? It is the
yeah.
case that Honda was already producing stuff in the United States because it was already profitable for them to do so. So what specific
Yeah, and
increase in
now they
production
said they're gonna
happened because of
produce
Trump?
more.
Because actually, if you want to look at manufacturing investment in the country since Trump has become president, it's declined.
Yeah, that could be because of a lot of compounding variables. I don't know if you can't attribute that solely to Trump, but obviously this is going to be beneficial like in the long term. Like our country is going to still keep growing, and Trump is just directing the way the country is going to grow towards a more manufacturing.
It's going to grow
like,
at a lower rate
more
because it is the case
manufacturing
that
manner.
Trump is deciding to operate under this faction. And you said it's specifically to increase domestic production? It's going to increase domestic manufacturing. We'll take a look at this graph. This is the St. Louis Federal Reserve on real manufacturing investment. You see this?
Yeah.
So do you see that massive increase? Hello? Do you see the massive increase?
Yeah. I see.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, I
under
see that.
Biden. So this is when Trump got in office his first term. This is when Trump left. This is when Biden got in office. This is when
Yeah.
Biden left. This is Trump.
Yeah, you would expect right after COVID, after a historic decline, there would be a bounce back, right? After there's like a recession, there's like it's just going back to the trends of the increased
So,
trends. Like it's
so-
just expected after COVID, no?
Why would it continue until Q2 2024? That's because it's bipartisan infrastructure bill, Chips and Science Act, PACT Act, Inflation Reduction Act. All of those policies
Because-
were passed. You said bounce back after COVID, but there was massive
and
inflation. I don't
policies
know what you're
that
talking
increase
about.
spending, yeah. Yeah, that
And this
policies
isn't
that
a
put, like,
bounce
more
back
money
after COVID. This is
in the economy.
this is growth that didn't exist prior. This is not a bounce back. A bounce back would be this already existed
Yeah, yeah,
and it bounced back.
bounce
This
back
is not
from,
a
like,
bounce back
expected.
because it did not exist prior.
Yeah, expected trends, bounce back to expected trends.
How is it an expected
It was
trend?
already increased. It was increasing.
It was declining. It declined. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I meant 2016.
26. That's when. So you're saying it was already decreasing when Trump got in office? Well, it continued to decrease later on.
I don't know the specifics for why
then
it
it
was
massively
decreasing.
increased.
I
You don't
assume
know the
there's a lot of
specifics? You're looking at it right
confounding
now.
variables, and the increase was along the same lines as COVID. Like I'm not surprised it increased because COVID ended, and now all the restricted businesses and all the restricted travel was unrestricted.
So why
It's
wouldn't it
pretty
just bring it
simple,
back
but
up
I
to
don't
the
know.
level that, wait, why wouldn't it just bring it back up to the level it was at prior? Why would it cause way more growth?
Because there was like an artificial closing of the industries in the United States. Because a lot of industries were waiting that were trying to get into the United States.
So then why would it,
Yes.
so again, it would make sense if it was the case that in 2020, right here, you see this little right down right here? Here,
Yeah.
once COVID starts, which is like right here, by the way. This is when COVID starts. So there's barely a decline, right, due to COVID. Like, come on. it would make sense that it would go back up to about right here. You know what I'm saying? That's a bounce back if it went up to here. If it went up to maybe here, that's a bounce back. But here?
I don't know the specifics. I don't
That's
know
not
the
a bounce back.
specifics.
If you bounce back, that means you were already in that position. They were clearly not in this position. That's not a bounce back. Hello? This is a bounce back. You see how it gets back up to it right here? To what it was in 2008? That's a bounce back.
I don't know the expected trends. The experts thought it was.
So this is obviously due to the infrastructure bill, the Chips and Science Act, the PACT Act, and the Inflation Reduction Act.
Yeah, I'm saying it's because of COVID, but the artificial like
it's not
barriers
because
on
of COVID.
COVID
somehow
all these
increased
industries.
manufacturing in the country, chat. That's information that we all just learned. Amber, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. That's amazing, by the way.
I don't know why it wouldn't be because of COVID. It doesn't. And it just makes sense. It's pretty logical. It happened along the lines when the barriers were removed.
I just explained it to you. Because then it would just go back up to what it was prior to COVID. Okay? It went way more than that.
Yeah, I don't know if this is accurate because even these acts
I don't know if this is accurate. From the St. Louis Federal Reserve, it might not be accurate.
Your analysis of this is accurate. Even the acts Biden put in place, he said the effects of these acts would take in place years after. These aren't like immediate effects where you
that was for some. That was for some, but this was specifically due to the infrastructure bill, the Chips and Science Act, the PACT Act. Right, all of these things increase the investment.
Can you provide evidence for that? Because to me, it just sounds like speculation.
I can tell you the bills that provided investment. I just told you the bills that provided investment.
Can you tell me an expert saying that this increase in manufacturing is attributed to these bills, and how much the rate is? Like, it's just speculation.
You said it was bounce back, and now you're just trying to find any way to get out of it. What do you think it was due to? What was the cause?
Removed restrictions from COVID and a lot of other things. American economy is an amazing economy that a lot of people invest in.
Then why wouldn't it just go back to the height it was at prior? That makes no sense.
I'm not an expert. I don't know.
So what I'm essentially telling you is that there has to be another explanation. If it's not that, if it's just that,
it could be a lot of things.
Yeah, it's got to be something else in that, and what it's likely to be is the increased investment in manufacturing due to the fucking manufacturing investment bill that exists under the Biden-Harris administration.
I don't know if that would take immediate effect, and I don't know if that was.
You can get this from the U.S. Department of Commerce.
I'm just looking for evidence. I'm just looking for evidence if that's true.
Yes, the title is manufacturing.
I'm agnostic. I'll be agnostic.
The title is from the U.S. Department of Commerce. Manufacturing booms thanks to Biden-Harris administration investments.
Yeah, and who's writing this?
I told you it's from the U.S. Department of Commerce.
U.S. Department of Commerce, and when is this written so I can search it up?
I just told you the title. It's 2024. That's what it's from. In the meantime, everyone, if you're on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. It will help get it out to more people. Only send a guest request if you do so. If you want to support me, as always, again, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description on the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Is that good enough for you or no?
Yeah, I'm reading through it.
Okay. Do give it a second, everyone. In the meantime, do give it a minute. Cece, thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Do give it a second, everyone. If you're on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen to help get out to more people. He's finding a source. Do give him a second. It will take him a second to find a source. Someone said it was lagging in the comments. Is it fine? It shouldn't be lagging. By the way, everyone,
Yeah,
the
I can
best way
see
to
that
find
there's-
the Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal is through the link tree in the bio, everyone. You were saying? You said you were going to concede?
Yeah, there's evidence that can be attributed to the Biden policies for manufacturing boom in the United
Fantastic.
States. Yeah. What was the point? What was the point of that?
I was showing you that it decreased under Trump and that it increased under Biden. And then you were asking me for evidence that the increase under Biden was specifically due to him. I just gave you evidence of that being the case. I gave you policy of that being the case.
Yeah.
Now, would you like to mention about any of the economic booms happened under the first administration for Trump or related to Trump?
Oh, you want me like the booms that can be attributed to the chops and the cutting taxes Jobs Act. I forget what it's called.
The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which added $1.9 trillion to the debt, along with specifically only increasing the GDP size by 0.04% per year, which is like $8 to $16 billion, which is nothing, and nowhere near enough to be able to pay for itself.
Which is nothing according to who? According to who did it? Was it an ineffective tax policy?
From a liberal and conservative economist from Harvard. Look up the macroeconomic effect of the 2017 tax reform bill. If you're on YouTube again, hit that thumbs up. At TikTok, tap that screen. It'll help get out to more people. We should be on for a few more hours, everyone. I think Dean's Dean's hopping on later. Dean is hopping on later. He's not doing an early live. He's doing a live later today. Long day? It's only been 3 hours and 40. Okay, it's been almost 4 hours, so I guess it has been a long day. It has been a long day. Parker's brain is cooked. It's cooked, chat. It's so cooked.
Yeah, it was moderate to low. Why are we acting like we care about like an increase in the debt? Why are we acting like both just don't do that?
Wait, Trump signed off on more debt-related spending. The Committee for Responsible Federal Budget indicates that he signed off on $4 trillion more debt-related spending than the Biden-Harris administration. I think it's important to be fiscally responsible for the future of our children.
Yeah, but both the only president who was fiscally responsible was Bill Clinton. The rest aren't. This isn't like a new thing.
Wait, no, I'm saying Harris was more fiscally responsible than Trump. Not to say that they're 100% perfect on fiscal responsibility, but to say that they're better than Trump. Kimmy, thank you for the $5. Thank you.
Well, I don't know. That could be debated. I've read some places saying that the Inflation Reduction Act didn't reduce inflation or didn't.
Yeah, the Inflation Reduction Act only really reduced inflation by like 0.1% in the long run. That wasn't the point of the bill. The point of the bill was to do a $35 cap on insulin for those that are on Medicare, to increase the largest investment in renewable energy ever, and to bring into more revenue and reduce the deficit, which it did.
That's kind of a silly name for a bill. That's
sure. Dude, I'm sorry. Your biggest critique of the bill is the name. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying that it didn't reduce inflation, and apparently that wasn't the goal of the bill. Okay.
His biggest disagreement with the bill isn't the contents of the bill, but it's the name.
Yeah, it didn't. I'm saying it didn't
Are
reduce
you a
inflation.
snowflake?
You're
Do
saying that
words
wasn't
hurt?
a point.
Do words make you mad?
Was the point change after they realized it didn't reduce inflation, or did they always have that point? Or did they just like retroactively change the point of the bill?
I'm just
I
saying
wonder
that.
why they called it the Inflation Reduction Act. But
Yeah, I'm sorry that they named it incorrectly. They don't dispute you on that. They disagree with the way that they named it now. I'm confused about how this like
okay.
bolsters your point in any way that's meaningful.
I'm saying the Democrats aren't fiscally responsible either. So
Yeah,
and
but
it's
they're
just
more
like a
fiscally
calculus to
responsible.
I think that's debatable, but
No, it's not.
I don't know the specifics. I didn't prepare.
It's not debatable.
How is it not debatable? Did they like which the Democrats like the Congress?
I can give you an analysis from the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget, a nonpartisan committee from the federal government that indicates you're fucking wrong, bud.
Yeah, I'd say it's like the difference is marginal if there's a difference, but
The difference is marginal.
there's-
4 trillion.
to me, there's
4 trillion
things
is
that are
marginal.
more
Do you want me to
important.
show you the difference because you're just saying it's marginal? Let's look at the difference. Trump v. Biden, CFRB.
Yeah,
Watch this. Let's look at this marginal distinction, chat. Let's take a very small distinction, Not a big distinction. Very small. Very, very small, I tell you. Look how small that is, chat. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
yeah, this is pretty reductive.
Look
like, it's
at
not
it.
even. You don't even know if it's comparing.
Look
analogous
at it.
policies. Like,
Look at it.
yeah, I don't.
Oh, if you know,
It's
you know.
pretty-
Like
yeah, that was very. I thought you were gonna show like some
SpongeBob meme.
analysis.
SpongeBob meme.
I thought you were gonna
Look
show some
at it.
analysis between policies, but
So-
even if like I grant all that, there's still like, there's still non-negotiables I have with the Biden administration, like them supporting DEI, them supporting.
Wait. What is this pivot? Can we talk about how this is not a small distinction?
Yeah, that's not really convincing. That's just like
That's not
graphs can lie to
convincing?
you, bro. Graphs
This is
can
from the
lie to you.
Committee
I don't
for-
know if
I
they're
told you-
comparing analogous policies.
I
'cause
told you the source,
tax and
the
gov-
Committee for Responsible Federal Budget.
Okay, let me check out the source then.
Yeah, do you want me to
Committee-
show you what it shows? Look. Take a look. It's on the screen.
Increase in tariffs, tax and job. Let's see what they're comparing. Because obviously the tax TCJA, yeah, obviously that's going to be a big dump in the budget. Yeah, did the Biden administration launch a tax policy or like a tax act?
8.4, 4.3. Do you think over 4 trillion is a small distinction given that the entirety of what Biden added is 4.3? It's almost 2 times.
Yeah, they comparing analogous policies. Like there's a lot of different things happening in each term, right? And are they adjusting for inflation and adjusting for like how much increase in the budget each term like had?
Are they adjusting for inflation? Hello? What, dude, that would hurt your side. If they're adjusting for inflation, that would hurt you.
I'm just asking if they're how accurate they're being.
They are being very accurate. Look at this.
Yeah, I'll read a link for it and I'll read it later. What is it? What is it called again?
It's from the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget. Just look up Trump v. Biden, Committee for Responsible Federal Budget. Or you can just look up Trump and Biden, the national debt. Let's abolish the Department of Education, chat. Let's make this country less educated. It looks like we need it.
Well, that's not really what abolishing the Department of Education does. It doesn't make the country less educated.
Yes, it
the
does.
Department of Yeah, it was just full of bureaucracy, and even though it was just filled with bureaucracy and just like an inefficient system. That's
Yeah,
why you replace it with more
there's
state
no,
level
the-
systems.
What was it? What
State
name
level
me
systems
name
are
me
bad.
the inefficiencies in the Department of Education?
Name you the specific inefficiencies.
Yeah.
It's bureaucracy. I told you an
So
example.
then let's get rid of
I don't
ICE.
know
That's
the
bureaucracy.
specifics.
Let's get rid of ICE, right? Abolish ICE. It's too
There's
much
certain levels
bureaucracy.
of bureaucracy.
Too much bureaucracy, chat.
I
Let's
don't-
get rid of it.
I'm pretty sure this is well known. This is undisputed that the
It's undisputed. There's too much
department-
bureaucracy. Let's get rid of ICE.
no
right?
in the Department of Education, obviously. It's
Abolish
undisputed.
ICE? You agree
Well,
with
let
me?
me-
Abolish ICE?
Is ICE full of bureaucracy? Is it not
Yes,
an
dude.
efficient
That is
system?
bureaucracy. You said government workers equals
How is it?
bureaucracy. So let's get rid of the bureaucracy, right?
No, it's not just government workers. It's government workers where they're not supposed to be. It's
Yeah,
you should
exactly.
be focusing on
Exactly.
education on a
Exactly.
state level.
Exactly. Government workers
Well,
shouldn't be
we need-
fucking
we need-
detaining
we
people
need
without
people
due process
deporting.
and not identifying themselves and violating the
In
law,
any country,
right?
you need people deported.
Wait.
You need to
people can be
enforce the
deported
law.
without ICE.
People
I'll-
can be deported without ICE. Not as well, not as efficiently. Not like you need to enforce like federal law. Yeah, I agree. Like the people deporting without ICE aren't enforcing state
So
law.
enforce
usually.
federal law. So put the people who are pardoned, who are violent rioters, back in prison.
Yeah, including the BLM rioters, obviously.
I mean, they weren't pardoned.
Well, did Biden? Was it Harris? She launched a bail fund for them. So I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah,
Wait, repeat what you just said?
wasn't Harris? She's the one who launched a bail fund for them, for the BLM rioters.
No.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Minnesota Freedom Fund, which is specifically for peaceful protesters. Now, that's not comparable to Donald Trump pardoning specifically and intentionally violent rioters on January 6th, because he had the ability to not pardon the violent rioters. Knowingly, right?
Yeah, I don't support January 6th. Just like I don't support.
So then
BLM.
should we put the violent rioters back in prison and enforce the law?
Yeah, you should throw the book at them just as much as you can.
So put
I
them
don't
back in
support it.
prison, right?
I don't support the pardons Biden did, just like I don't support the pardons Trump did. I don't think that should be a thing presidents can do. It's weird.
Okay. Do you think that he was condoning or condemning the behavior by pardoning it?
Condone. I don't make that inference. I just make that he didn't. He believed they're innocent. He believed they're innocent. So
Did he
Yeah,
want the
that's why he
violence on
pardoned
January
them.
6th?
did he want the violence? Something? No, he didn't.
Then why did he pardon it?
He pardoned it because he believed there was no violence. He was misinformed by Fox News.
He
Just
believed
like
there was
any
no
other
violence,
person
but he
would.
pardoned the people who were violent rioters.
Yeah, because he believes there was a conspiracy against them to.
There was convictions.
falsely
They were
convict
on
them.
video.
Yeah, he believed that they were falsely convicted. That's why
They were on video doing it.
The Trump administration. Well, I don't agree with Trump on everything, just like you don't agree with Biden on
I'm sorry.
everything.
There's no way he thought that. They were on video doing it.
Biden thinks Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. Well, you don't. So, like, you don't agree with the person that you
What
support
type
on
of
everything,
fucking
so
pivot
it's
is this,
not-
dude?
It's not. I'm just saying I don't agree with him. I'm just explaining his rationale, like in a good faith manner. Like I'm just explaining it honestly.
That's not his rationale.
Does he or not believe they are innocent? Be honest. He does believe they're innocent.
They were convicted and it was on video, right? In plenty of instances, they
Well-
admitted to it themselves. I think the best argument you could have in quote unquote good faith is saying that he just didn't know about the case because he didn't do any research into it because he doesn't read.
Yeah, he didn't, and he believes they're innocent. He just believes what he's told.
So
He's
he
not
did. So
like
isn't
the
that an
most
issue that he's
intelligent
pardoning
person.
people who he doesn't know who he's pardoning? Who's handing him the
Yeah,
people to
Biden,
pardon?
Biden. It's an issue.
Wait,
Pardons
you guys were like,
as a
it's not
whole.
Project 2025. That's not real. That's not a real thing. But now he's just being handed people to pardon. He doesn't even know who he's pardoning.
Yeah, Biden pardoned his son. Like, there's
We have nothing to
pardonings
do
are
with
things
Project
going on.
2025. No, no, nothing to do with Project 2025. Except for the people on the administration that were appointed by Trump. The practically like 60 to 70% of the things that they've done in the administration being from Project 2025. And not the literally didn't know who he was pardoning and just pardoned random people that were handed to him.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I disagree with the pardoning. I just like I disagree with a lot of presidents on a lot of things. It's I don't have to agree with them on everything.
I understand that you disagree, but you must be able to understand that he was inciting a violent insurrection at the Capitol then. And then if you agree with me that he was inciting a violent insurrection at the Capitol, why would you ever vote for a violent insurrectionist?
No, I'm pretty sure in a few states he was proved innocent of that, or they couldn't convict him of that. So I don't think that's substantiated. There's no.
Wait, I just want to let you know.
I'm not the person who can determine.
Wait,
that.
are you saying convictions determine substantiation?
At least legally, yeah. That's why I disagree with the.
Are you saying something cannot be substantiated without there being a conviction?
Oh, are you? No, I'm pretty. What is this? Insurrection is a legal term, and I'm referring to the legal.
Oh yeah. So what do you mean by
conditions for that.
insurrection? And we'll go off that set of criteria.
I don't know exact legal criteria, so that's why I.
Then just clarify the way that you're using the term.
I don't know the exact. I'm using it in the legal way. That's what I mean. I don't mean colloquial insurrection.
So how about this? A violent uprising meant to overturn a government.
Well, that could be any riot. That's pretty. Like, what do you mean by overturn? Like what? Like is that it? I don't know what you mean.
They were trying to get the government out of office. They said, take back this country from those that stole it from you. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. Like a coup of the government. Do you
I don't
think
know
every
the
riot is
specifics,
to
but weren't
overthrow the government?
Yeah, I don't know if I would call it. And I'm using the legal term. I'm not using the colloquial term.
Then tell me what. Then do you want to look up the legal term and tell me? Because I'll go off
we can
with
look
any
up the
definition you
legal
want.
term and see why it didn't apply to him.
Go ahead, do it,
why
and tell me.
You couldn't.
I won't be able to hear you while you swipe out of the app, but once you come back, you can tell me. If you're on YouTube, everyone, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Isabel, thank you so much for this $5.57. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Could you say something motivating? Yes, you're going to do fantastic on your master thesis. You're going to get an A. You're going to do amazing. I promise you. I promise you. You're going to get it done super quick. Don't worry. I would start working on it now because you're going to do fantastic. Everyone here believes in you. If you believe in Isabel, right, on her master's thesis, right, type a 3 in the comment section right now if you believe in Isabel. It looks like a lot of people are on your side. A lot of people believe in you. It looks like a lot of people believe in you. If you want to support me, as always, everyone, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat as well, everybody. Those are the best places to support me. Plus, I put the support me link in the pinned comment on my YouTube. You can click on that, and that sends you right to my Linktree. How many likes are we at on YouTube, everybody? How many likes are we at on YouTube? Let me see. In the meantime, we'll give him a second to find that information. Alrighty. He will be coming back in a second. Don't worry. Dude, give it a second. 1.6. Everyone keep liking that stream. Let's try to get to 2,000 likes, everyone. 1.7 thousand likes. Let's go. We're at 1.7 now. Let's try to get to 2,000, everyone. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was looking at Cornell Law School, that definition of insurrection. It says any incitement of violence with the intent to rebel or insurrect against the United States. Yeah, that's what it says.
Okay, well, I mean, I think that just used the word within the definition. That's why I would prefer my definition, but we can use that one if you want. That one, it still meets that set of criteria. Exactly what Donald Trump did. Love you. Thank you the $5 for Isabel. We believe in you. You got this.
I don't think he did. I would say the people in the riot were trying to insurrect the country, but Trump wanted to stay peaceful, even though I don't support like any violent rioting at all.
Wait, repeat what you just said. Sorry.
Yeah, I think Trump personally, he wanted it to stay peaceful, but the people inside, the people who thought the election was stolen and who wanted to destroy the system, did an insurrection. The people convicted of, I think it's conspiracy, seditious conspiracy.
Okay. And so then why do you pardon the violent rioters?
Because he believed they were innocent. He has the right to, which I disagree with.
You believe they're innocent is such a ridiculous way for you to not take accountability for this, and it's really frustrating because it was on video, right? They admitted to it. They were convicted of it. Why wouldn't you believe it in that scenario? And if someone doesn't believe it in that scenario, wouldn't that be a reason to not support them? And wouldn't it still be true that they pardoned a violent rioter? So they clearly wanted the
I think it's understandable to not. You don't, just like the O.J. Simpson case, or maybe for you, Kyle Rittenhouse, you don't believe or trust in the law for every scenario. You can disagree with the law. For that, for some reason, Trump disagreed with the law, even though I might
disagreed with the law, saying that like you shouldn't commit violent crimes.
Yeah, just like any other case where anybody else disagrees with the law. I gave an examples where there's popular cases, controversial cases.
So he disagreed with the law, making it illegal to assault police officers.
Somebody. Yeah, people disagree with laws all the time.
Yeah, and is that the law he disagrees with?
He disagreed with their conclusions. He obviously agrees that it should be illegal. He disagreed that those people actually did it.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
So then he's just an idiot, right? Because he can't determine that based upon them admitting to it being on video, and a conviction that they're guilty. Really? He thinks that there was no violence on January 6th.
I think he's a normal person who can make a mistake, just like
so
all the
wait.
leftists
So then
make a
you
mistake
think
when it
that
comes to
he's
Kyle
committed?
Rittenhouse.
You think that he thinks that there was no violence on January 6th?
He thinks the violence.
MJ, thank you so much for the $10.
I don't know what he thinks. I actually don't know. I don't know. He thinks there was no like. I don't know what these like MAGA people think, but he just thinks they're innocent for some reason. He thinks he didn't commit violence.
I don't think you actually believe that.
Well, I just said I don't know what he thinks. That's all I said. I'm being honest.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Arad?
No, I want to talk about deport.
So the next person, everyone, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Let's go on to the next person, everyone. Please, everyone, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen. Nikita, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $3. Thank you. I'm not planning on it, to be honest. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
22.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
August 17, 2003.
For sure. And why do you support Donald Trump?
What happened with Mama Peach?
I'm confused what you just said. Why do you support Donald Trump?
Where's Mama Peach at?
Why do you support Donald Trump?
Honestly, like, I don't know. He's just a cool guy.
Okay. Why so?
He's just a cool guy. I don't know.
Okay. So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you?
Oh, I'm trying to go pee pee. Oh, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, do you support Donald Trump?
Well, only on one case. And I have
if
to
you
tell
could
you,
go back in time and either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
this is not what I'm talking to you about. I don't want you to.
Okay. Only send a guest request if you're willing to answer my questions, and also if you would vote for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris if you could go back in time. Yo, what's about you?
18.
What's your birth year? So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, I didn't mean to join. I'm so sorry.
You're good. Don't worry. You're good. Don't worry. Let's go on to the next person here. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. If you want to support the grift, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you?
Hello?
Oh, okay. As soon as they said hello, I kicked them. That's rough. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Okay. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Gia, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. I know, right? Like, it's so weird. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
23.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
2001.
What month?
February.
2001. February would make you 24.
Is that what I said?
No, you said 23.
Oh, I misspoke. I'm actually 24. Yeah, I'm born 2001 February. I must have misspoke.
Okay, is there a way you can move the phone out of the fan?
The fan? Yeah. Hold up. Is that better?
For sure. So why do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, I feel like this is an argument you probably don't hear often, but like, if we are proud to be an American, we're supposed to support who represents us. And if we're going to sit here and like not support who represents us, we're just causing harm.
Can I clarify? If you could go back in time and you could either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
Oh yeah, in that case, then Kamala would. Yeah, well, I'm.
So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. I don't know what type of view that is. It's incredibly un-American just to support any candidate no matter what. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 34.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, he got some really good points.
No? Such as?
Making America great again.
When was it great and when will
jobs.
it be great?
Well, that's a great question because America's never been great. It's founded on slavery, stealing other people's land, and we keep doing the same actions. But I do think war needs to end, and I think it's kind of silly that we make so much money off of funding wars. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so then are you actually a Trump supporter? Because then you don't agree with the MAGA slogan.
Oh, well, I believe in making America great. You know, I believe in that. I think it's a great concept, making our country great. Well, actually, I believe in making all countries great. I believe in actually a one planet unity, you know, because if one country's great, then you can make other countries great. You know,
how is Donald Trump making our country great?
Well, sometimes you got to stir up the hornet's nest. You know, in order to get rid of them, you got to protect the other bees. You know, if they're on your property, you got to, get rid of the hornets. So, does that make sense?
No.
Okay. All right. So right now he's getting rid of all the migrants and they're saying that they're bad, right? They're evil and all that stuff, right?
Okay, yeah, and
So-
do you think that you should get rid of every undocumented immigrant in the country? Because I think that there's no reason to deport people who have not committed violent crimes or bad crimes. I think that there's no reason. I think mass deportation harms our economy, harms our culture and society, and it's inhumane.
Well, I think incarcerating people, white people are the largest criminals in the United States. Black people are just stuck in that minority group of being stuck there because of what we did to them. You understand?
Okay, I feel like this person is like, what? I'm so confused. I'm just going to go on to the next person. What is going on? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
23.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Why so?
So, do you think that, like, as currently constructed, that the Lakers can win it all?
Gene, thank you so much for the $15. Thank you. I think I actually will need a few more rips, to be honest. Thank you so much, Gene. I appreciate it. Thank you. Araceli, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $5. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? You're fucking disgusting. Mods, please make sure you can ban them if you have the ability to, because I don't have the ability to unless I have my phone open on a different account with that set up. So if you can, just make sure to ban them as always. They made a whole new account just to do that. It's fucking gross. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
25.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
2000.
What month?
February.
Okay. Why do you support Donald Trump?
He's cool.
Why do you actually support Donald Trump? Can you be specific?
Well, he makes my wallet bigger.
In what way?
I have more money because of him.
Due to what policy?
I don't know. I just have more money than him.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 26.
Do you support Donald Trump?
It's bugging, man. Hang on. I'll re-request.
Okay. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. If you want to support me as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. It looks like Dean isn't quite live yet. It looks like he'll be on live later, everyone. I tried to ask him what time he'll be live. He hasn't quite responded, though, yet. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
35.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
Why so?
Because I associate with his agenda, his ideology, the things that he kind of, wants to do. Some things I like, some things I don't, but the majority of what he does I like.
Like what?
Secure borders. I'm okay with the tariffs. I basically like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. Basically the restructuring of every 3-letter agency in our federal government. I think it's long overdue. And I think it's a step in the right direction.
Just because there's restructuring doesn't mean the restructuring is good. So you'd have to be clear specifically on what the restructuring is. Secondly, in terms of securing the borders, I'm assuming you're saying that's through mass deportation.
Well, no, mass deportation, but part of it, I mean, actually securing the borders to the lowest numbers we've seen in 3 decades with crossings and encounters. I think that's a big part of it.
I actually think it's a bad thing that there are less people come to the country. I think mass deportation is a bad thing as well. So I think both those things are bad. I guess I would ask you, can you name one way in which mass deportation benefits our society?
Yeah, it's basically, I want to argue whether it benefits or doesn't. I think it's just it's a radical way for a hard reset. Like, we have an immigration problem. Neither party wants to solve it. Neither party has solved it. I think it's just his way of kind of signaling to his base and just, again, like an extreme hard reset on what he's trying to do.
So can you name one way it benefits our society?
Yes, it gets people that shouldn't be here out of our country.
How does it benefit our country to do that?
So it bets a lot of things. So say, for instance, you have 1,000 people taking up housing. Well, now there's 1,000 vacancies in housing. Say you have 1,000 students that are using local tax money for schools. Those students are no longer here. So now you have all that money that's returned. It's kind of a trickle down effect from top to bottom. schooling, housing, you name it.
So you also know that there's less people who are paying into the systems. Undocumented immigrants, for example, paid $100 billion in taxes in 2022. There's less people demanding goods and services in the economy. There's less people building houses. There's less people who are working at grocery stores. There are less people working in general because you'd engaged in mass deportation.
Yeah, so from that same report where you guys get that $100 billion paid in, if you actually go a few pages ahead, it goes to the overall cost on U.S. taxpayers, and it's over $150 billion. So yes, they bring in $100 billion in revenue. Again, that very report where you got that number from, a few pages ahead gives you the overall cost, and it's over $150 billion.
I didn't get it from the FAIR report. That's a far right think tank. I don't get my sources from far right think tanks.
Fantastic. So then what's the cost on the U.S. taxpayer for illegal immigration? What's that burden on a yearly basis?
Well, I don't think it would be a state and local. I don't think federal governments specifically provide anything for undocumented immigrants.
Well, yeah, that's fine. I'm not being descriptive.
Do you think legal?
It doesn't matter. It's still a burden on taxpayers.
I have a question. Do you think legal immigrants are a burden on taxpayers?
No, not at all.
So then why don't you just provide mass amnesty for any undocumented immigrant who hasn't committed a violent crime or bad crime? Because you agree that they wouldn't be any type of drain in our system.
Yeah, and I'd agree with parts of that. It's a slippery slope for me. No, again, some things I agree with, some things I don't. I don't think we should just grant everyone status. I think, again, I kind of up and down on the topic, but I'm okay with mass deportation.
Okay, but mass amnesty does everything that you would want without actually deporting people from the country. It benefits our economy as well. And you also said one of the ailments of undocumented immigration, one of the things that you consider it bad for is because you specifically think that they're a drain on our system. One, that's not true, and two, even if you did believe that to be the case, they still wouldn't be a drain on our system because it is the case that we could provide a pathway to citizenship for anyone who's in the country undocumented who hasn't committed a violent crime or bad crime, which would then make them legal immigrants. So they wouldn't have that drain on the system.
So they are during the system. I mean, I can give you an example from the literal town I live in. So, I mean, for you to say that, it's just not a factually accurate statement.
No, it is completely and totally factually accurate because you're also not taking into account the federal revenues that you're getting specifically through the context of the tax structure because of increased immigration.
Yeah, but again, you're making the distinction between federal and state money, and the biggest issue is the state level, which is where it impacts people the most. So it starts at the federal level at our border, and then as these people are distributed around the country, it then becomes a local and state issue, which is the main issue.
So then if it's a local and state issue, then you want less states' rights, more federal control?
Well, no, I think there needs to be more of a working together on this issue. And again, so not on policy, just on his EOs, he's drastically affected this issue in a positive way by securing the border.
So if a state wants to help out people, should they have the right to do that?
If they want to, yeah, that's their right. I don't agree with it, but it's
okay. Then what was your issue with it? States' rights, right?
Again, I'm saying I think there needs to be a better harmony between the federal and state on this issue. I mean, it is an issue.
Okay, but you're not telling me what the solution would be.
Again, I don't have a clear solution. I think there's a lot of things that could be done. Again, parts of amnesty I would agree with, parts of deportation I agree with. I'm not like a cut and dry person on this thing. I think both sides need to work together and do a better job. But unfortunately, the reality is it's just it's a ball that gets kicked back and forth every election cycle, and nothing ever gets done. So that's the reality of it.
So then here's my question. In terms of deportation, again, explain to me what circumstances in which you would apply deportation.
So again, as far as what he's doing, it's not necessarily I don't agree with. If you're here illegally, right? You're not a documented citizen. You don't have, you have no legal right to be here. I don't think you should be here. I think you have the right to be deported. I don't think that the asylum laws should be used the same way as kind of the Trojan horse to this immigration thing. I don't think asylum seeking is the way to come into this country.
So you think anyone undocumented? You think anyone undocumented should be deported? Correct.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So a child that's in the country undocumented, they should be deported?
Well, we have laws in place with their parents. So again, the parent whether they came here or without, they put their child in danger by illegally crossing into another country.
So
I mean,
then,
so
like,
at
let me give you an
first, step
example.
one was the fault of the parent.
So, like, let me give you an example. A kid is in this country. We don't know who their parents are. We don't know where they're from. Where do you deport them?
Yeah, so in that case, I would not support deporting a child. If you have a child that has no parents, no, I don't support that.
Why not?
Because they're a child. You just said, right? So if we know nothing about them, how do we know where to send them?
So we shouldn't deport any children, and you shouldn't deport
Children,
people to
no.
a country, and you shouldn't deport people to a country they've never been, right?
Well, no, I don't agree with that either. If a country, if you're trying to deport someone,
deporting people to countries they've never been before, is that an issue?
yeah. So if you're here illegally and your country isn't willing to take you back, what are we supposed to do with them? The U.S. taxpayer is just supposed to keep them here and pay for them to be taken care of? No. If you have a country willing to take them, yeah, absolutely. I have no problem with them being.
If they haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime, I believe they should be able to stay in the country. I believe they should be able to.
And that's fine. That's where our opinions differ. You say they have to commit a violent crime. I think that the crime of them being here illegally, crossing into our country illegally, is enough for them to be removed.
Wait, but like, okay, so if you think that like someone should not be allowed into the country if they commit a misdemeanor, then you shouldn't believe that someone who's committed a felony should be allowed to go into the Oval Office and be president.
Well, no, those are two different things. Crime does matter, and what crime it is actually matters, right? So if you're going to say that all crime is the same, that's not a logical thing to say.
Oh, that's actually what you are arguing.
No, it's not at all.
So because
they're totally different. They're totally different situations.
So then we should give zero punishment for this crime. We should not enforce that if it's the case that they haven't committed.
You're trying to conflate two totally different situations. That
the felonies are worse,
other, right?
The felonies are worse.
Well, no. I mean, I don't consider them worse. No, not at all.
That's nuts.
How is it nuts?
Falsifying business records with a predicate crime is definitely worse. Is definitely worse than coming to the country undocumented.
No, crossing an international border into a country illegally, I think is far worse than fucking up some documents or doing some shady shit.
No, purposefully hiding information to affect your election prospects.
Yeah, again, that's not the reality of what it does.
That is
the fact that they were all, minus the fact, if we want to talk about it, they were all misdemeanors that were then upgraded to felonies because of the AG
crime.
of New York. Yeah,
no,
which no one has ever been charged before in the history of court ever.
Not because of the AG, because of the predicate crime.
No, it was.
And that's made up.
No,
you said this is the only time it's been tried. That's not true. Gail, thank you so much for the $25. Thank you so much, Gail.
That is absolutely true. They were all single misdemeanors. Single misdemeanors clumped together and upgraded to felonies.
What's your source that it's never been tried before?
Again, there's people more smarter than me that do this stuff for a living that have documented and talked about it on TV. So again,
I do this for a living, and I'm a lot smarter than you. So then, do you accept what I say? That didn't happen.
Fantastic. You want a cookie or?
Well, I just said I meet the same set of criteria that you said.
Well, again, you're arguing.
I'm on people's TV right now. Currently, if I'm on your TV right now, type 3 in the comment section.
Yeah, you're arguing opinion. So again, I'm clearly stating I don't think crimes of paperwork are the same as crossing an international border illegally. I mean, so you could have your opinion, I have mine. It's fine.
Yeah, again, felonies are worse.
Again, that's fine. The status of the felony and what the felony is doesn't make a difference to me. Again, it's a felony based on paperwork, not crossing an international border illegally. I mean, there's always going to be a drastic distinction in my mind between those two things. It's like saying, is there a difference between jaywalking and schmurder? There's a big difference between jaywalking and schmurder. So again, when we're talking about illegally crossing international borders,
I have a question. Why is jaywalking not bad? That's a drastic difference. Why is jaywalking not bad?
Because it's just you're crossing a street.
That's exactly what happens when someone comes to the country undocumented.
Well, no, because you're missing the point. It's an international border. It's not just a street, right? There's a difference, right? A sovereign nation, the border of a sovereign nation that you're crossing illegally under the crime of, punishment of crime. That's a big difference between being in a country where you live and you're a citizen and just randomly crossing across the street. Those are two drastically different situations that you're trying to classify together just because they're a misdemeanor. It's not the same thing.
If you think about the law rather than specifically looking at the actions they engaged in, right? Because it's not like someone's personal property.
Yes, it's a sovereign nation, the United States of America.
That's not
a country is defined by its borders.
But that's not
international borders are a thing.
That's not personal.
I'm not saying it is. It's a nation that you're crossing into illegally. You're breaking federal and international laws.
But you have, again, what's bad about that? What harm does that cause?
It could cause all kinds of harm. The fact, again, right, you're committing a crime by illegally crossing an international border.
And what harm does that cause?
It could cause many harm. That person, we just saw the person down in Florida illegally here and just unalived 3 people with the license he was given in California based on Democrat policy. So a person that shouldn't be here just unalived 3 people with a license they should have never had in the first place, given to them by a Democrat state like California. So that's the outcome. That's the outcome right there. That's what could happen. That's why it's serious.
1, I'm going to need a source for that. 2, undocumented immigrants commit multiple...
What do you mean source for it? It's one of the biggest stations in the country. Like, what are you talking about?
Every time I try to explain something, it's like the fucking guests do this. It's so frustrating.
Well, you said you're so informed, but you don't know about...
I let you speak. Now shut up. Can you be quiet? 1, I would want a source for that. 2, undocumented immigrants commit lower rates of violent crime, drug crime, property crime in the country comparative to natural-born U.S. citizens. So the idea that undocumented immigrants are bringing crime to the country to a greater extent is ridiculous. If you're going to say the nominal level of crime increases, well, the same thing is true for tourism, yet you don't want to ban tourism.
Yeah, okay, so that's I love when you guys bring this up. So yes, of course, the citizens of a country are going to commit more crime in a drastic amount disproportionately to people who are not in the country. So you guys keep bringing up that argument, and it's nonsense. Yes, the citizens of Mexico are going to commit more crime than people not from Mexico. The citizens of, Spain are going to commit more crime than the citizens not of Spain. The citizens of America are going to commit drastically more crime than non-citizens. Like that's a non-factor. It's a play on words and statistics that doesn't really mean anything. Yes, if you're in a country of 350 million Americans, if you have 10 million illegal migrants, yes, even if every single one of them committed a crime, you're still going to have drastically less impact in crime statistics than those American citizens. That's such a nonsense point to bring up.
These are crime rates. These are crime rates. They take into account population. It's not nominal level of crime.
Again, it doesn't matter
rates.
though. And no one's
per capita.
No one's saying that they're the overall percentage of crime. No one's ever said that.
Wait. I said per capita, and then you said, oh, it is the case that there's a greater population of people who are in the country legally versus people who are in the country. Can I please speak? You said that there's a greater percentage of the population specifically that is in the country legally versus in the country who are not in the country legally. And it is the case that you said that was the reason as to why there was a greater nominal level of crime specifically for people who are in the country legally versus people who are not in the country legally. And all I said specifically is that the crime rates that I was comparing are per capita crime rates that take into account population. So as per person, there's a lower likelihood that they would commit violent crime, drug crime, and property crime in the United States comparative to natural-born U.S. citizens, again, if they're undocumented.
Yes, of course. And again, it doesn't matter. Yes, it doesn't matter what specifics you want to use for your data. It's always going to be the same. The citizens of the country are always going to commit more crime in every single percentile than people that aren't citizens of the country.
Why is that?
Because there's a drastic difference between population and numbers. If you have 350 million compared to 10 million, that's not.
These are per capita rates. They're taking into account population.
Yes, again, it doesn't matter if it's per capita. You're still going to have more for U.S. citizens because they make up the overwhelming majority of the population.
This guy's an idiot. I said it's taking into account per capita. It means it divides by population. And if you divide by population, then in population...
Yes, you're going to have lower numbers. If you're going per capita from a smaller source of numbers, you're going to have lower numbers.
No, because it's as percentage of the population. If you take into account population, then population couldn't be the reason as to why there's more crime.
You're going off the population of a small amount of people that are illegal, whatever you want to call it.
Undocumented.
So of course whatever you want to say, undocumented. It's always going to be a smaller number.
But they commit a lower percentage of crime, accounting for population.
Yes, that's always going to be the result.
Okay, so then why would you act like they're causing more crime?
I never said that. I never stated that.
Well, yeah, you were.
You asked me. Your question to me was, what harm does it do if they cross the country illegally? I just gave you a specific example. I said that's the result. You then said that, well, they don't. Your whole statistic thing. That wasn't my claim. I didn't say they cause more crime. I didn't say that the majority of crime. You asked me what is the problem with it, and I gave you the result of that problem and why it's a problem.
The reason why it's not a harm specifically of just coming to the country undocumented
well,
is the same
did
reason.
It harm those 3 people that were just unalive though? Because you're saying it's not harmful. I think those 3 people would argue with you because they're not alive right now.
Well, people just coming to the country undocumented is not the cause of that. It's the specific people.
Well,
that
see, now you're
referencing.
moving the goalpost.
Am I able to finish
You're
speaking
moving.
without you cutting me off?
Well, no, because that's bullshit. You're moving the goalpost right there. You're pivoting away
I'm not
from
even
what you
able to
actually
speak.
said. Well, you're trying to, because no, I already know where you're trying to go. You're saying, oh, well, the actual action of them crossing an imaginary border doesn't hurt anybody. Yes, if you're in the middle of a desert and you cross a border, you're not hurting anyone. What hurts people is what they do after they cross that border, like the example I just gave you. So for you to say there's no harm, no foul, it's nonsense.
Okay, can I speak without interruption?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so just the action of coming into the country undocumented doesn't specifically cause this. It would be the certain people coming that specifically cause that to happen. And I'm not saying in those circumstances where people have committed violent crimes and bad crimes that they shouldn't be deported and that these laws shouldn't apply to them. I don't think that they should be allowed in the country. If someone was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, they should not be allowed into our country. But the point that I'm making with this is that just coming into the country undocumented is not a harm. Now, let me explain exactly another example as to why this is the case. For example, tourists coming to the country. Do you think tourism is a harm?
No, I don't.
But tourists, in some circumstances, have murdered people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then, like, why wouldn't you apply the same thing to tourism in the same connotation that you blamed undocumented immigration?
Because, again, you're comparing apples to oranges. You're comparing two completely different situations.
That's obviously in a comparison you compare two different things.
Yes, but you're not on the same level here. You're comparing people that come here for vacations and tourism and go back and they commit crimes. You're to people who are illegally crossing a border to knowingly stay here. Those are two different situations.
Wait, repeat. Say that one more time. I was responding to my girlfriend.
You're presenting that it should be the same thing on people that come here for vacations and tourism, right? Well, they come here with the plans of going back. The difference in immigration or people that cross the border, especially our southern border, is that they're coming here to stay. They're not coming here on a vacation. They don't come here on a plane. They don't come here for tourism. They're coming here for completely different reasons.
That's not a relevant difference in terms of what I was comparing, because the basis of my comparison was that there was crime that comes to the country and happens in the country because people are able to come to the country through the context of tourism. But you don't blame tourism. You blame the specific individuals that did that. The same way that you shouldn't blame undocumented immigrants. You should blame the person who did it.
Yeah, I am. I never said blanket statements. You're putting blanket statements in my mouth.
You were blaming undocumented immigration for this. You said
yes,
that it was a harm from undocumented immigration.
Yes, I give you a literal specific example. I didn't say all immigrants or all people that come here or immigrate here are criminals. That's not what I said. I literally gave you a specific example. I didn't give a broad
So let me
statement.
clarify. Just the action for someone, just the action of coming to the country undocumented, what harm does that action cause?
It's not a matter of if it causes harm or not. It's the fact that it's against the law and you've crossed an international border illegally. At that point in time, the argument isn't if he's. Yes, it's against the law.
So do you think jaywalking in all circumstances should be punished?
If it's against the law, yes.
Do you think? Have you ever shot off fireworks?
Yeah, all the time.
In the inner city?
I don't live in the inner city, so no.
I'm just saying, like, it's likely that an area which you shot off fireworks, that it's illegal.
Yeah.
And you shot them off. Do you think you should be held accountable?
If you're caught by police or someone calls the police on you and then they're
only
involved,
if you're only if you're caught by police?
Well, yeah. How else are you going to pay for a crime if police aren't involved? That makes no sense.
You think that people should be held accountable? Oh, you just got a flag for hate speech and hateful behaviors. Damn, did I just get 2 for that? I think I just got 1. I don't know. I'm gonna go on to the next person real quick. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen, everyone. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. I should literally like turn on my screen to show the chat that I got a flag each time that happens, because there's always people in the comment section that says Parker got destroyed and he left. He lost so bad that he had to kick the guest. Guest won. Guest won, so Parker had to kick him. As if I didn't just explain that there was a ban, a flag. And any of those people who just said that, do you want to send a guest request? I invited like practically every single one of you. And now people are just going to say that so they can join the live who are going to troll, but... Let's go on the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria listed on the screen, everyone. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen, everyone. We're just looking for some debates. Let's go on the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen. If you want to support me as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube. As well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Ruby, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you, Ruby. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey.
How old are you?
I'm 16 years old. I'm going on...
You got to be 18 to join the live, everyone. Scott, thank you for the $25. Thank you so much, Scott. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was embarrassing, the fact that he didn't know per capita. Alrighty. Let's go on the next person here. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Why do you support Donald Trump? Wait, what's your birth year actually, sorry?
October 3rd, 2006.
And you said you're how old again? You said you're how old again? You swiped out of the app. I can't hear you. Okay, let's go on the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. If you want to support me as always, again, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Let's go on the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What are your thoughts on Jewish?
So the next person, so fucking disgusting. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 19.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year? So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello, how are you doing?
Do you support Donald Trump?
I can only speak English.
What'd you say?
I said I can only speak English.
I said, do you support Donald Trump?
I do not understand.
Oh, okay. Let's go on the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
What's your birth year?
2006.
What month?
March.
Okay. Why do you support Donald Trump?
I've got a question for you, Parker.
Or do you
I do
support
support
Donald
Trump.
Okay. If you could go
yes,
back in
I
time
do.
and you could either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
Trump.
Okay, go for it.
My question is, what do you think of the clankers taking our jobs?
I'm literally just getting trolls today, everyone. We're going to go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 32.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your birth year?
1993.
Okay. Why do you support Donald Trump?
I just think the left has become a little too soft.
Okay. In what way?
You know, all the, sensitivity, anything you say is offensive. I think they isolate the other side and don't allow for communication. And I'm a little bit against.
Watch this real quick. Chat, is everything I say offensive? Type 3 in the comment section if you think everything I say is not offensive. Right? At least some things that I say are not offensive, right? Okay, so now you see a bunch of people on the left are not saying everything's offensive. So what's your point here?
I mean, I guess it's just from personal experience and not living on the internet from what I see in person. And I mean, anybody can type, what you tell them to type because they're your, fans.
But like, they just don't think everything that I say is offensive. So if they don't think everything that I say is offensive, then why would your particular perspective here matter? Because then the left isn't too soft. So I mean, yeah. I think the right is too soft. I mean, they got mad at Colin Kaepernick taking a kneel. I mean, they want to put people in prison for burning the American flag for a year, which was determined by the Supreme Court to be be protected by the First Amendment. A combat veteran was arrested, right, specifically for burning the American flag.
Yeah, I agree. I think both sides have people that are sensitive.
The right is soft about Bud Light.
I think it's
the right is soft about M&M characters.
Soft. But I'm also against. I don't know if I'm not usually on TikTok. I don't know what I can say, but against shmushmortion. I feel like is what you usually say.
Okay, so like abortion. So what specifically about that? I mean, that has nothing to do with the left being quote unquote too soft. So are you going to pivot off that point? Is the left not soft anymore?
No, I'd say both sides probably are soft, but if I had to pick a side that's, soft on topics that I think are overreacting, I would lean to say the left is more sensitive.
Okay, because it looks like I think Trump is very sensitive.
Why do you say that?
I mean, he gets angry and triggered about everything.
Can you give an example?
Rainbows.
He gets angry at rainbows?
Yeah, the right gets angry at rainbows. The right gets angry at gay people in movies, in TV shows. The right gets angry at trans people's existence. At Taylor Swift. Windmills.
But if I'm on the right,
in a tan suit or eating stuff with Dijon mustard, like come on, the new Superman. It's too woke.
If I'm on the right and I don't get offended by those things, does that, make your point not valid anymore?
Well, I mean, that's actually like the point I was making about you. Was that like if I'm on the left and I don't get offended at those things that you're saying, you think that liberals think everything is offensive. Well, I don't think everything is offensive. So does that destroy your point? I was kind of getting you to try to realize that. If you're not offended by these things and it's just the rest of the right, well, then it's simply not a left-wing thing to say that the left is too soft. It sounds like both sides are too soft under your view.
Yeah, no, I did say that earlier that I think both sides, obviously have people that are sensitive, and we kind of harp in on the people that stand out the most and live on the internet and, kind of paint the whole side as, the picture that they create for everybody. So I try not to do a blank, put it on everybody, but if you're kind of having a debate, you're talking about it, it's just kind of how you feel, right? It's just like more times than not, in my opinion, or things, I guess, subjects that matter to me, I feel like they react a little bit more drastically and can be sensitive than the people on the right. But I'm not saying that the people on the right definitely are not, have their fair share of equally crazy and overreactive and sensitive people as well.
Okay. So then, I mean, you were the one that just generalized the left, saying that the left is too soft. Do you disagree with that generalization now?
Yeah, I mean, it's too hard to paint everybody, but
sure. So then, okay, what is the reason why you support Donald Trump then? Because it can't be because the left is too soft.
Well, it can, if I was to say it's not everybody, but I feel like the majority, or like I said, on subjects that matter more to me and things that I think aren't necessarily key talking points that we should be, getting super reactive about and complaining about. The same thing, like you brought up the Bud Light and rainbows, like that's not things that we should focus on either. So yeah, I don't know, maybe, both sides do have their, equal amount of people being sensitive to the wrong things, but
Sure. So like,
yeah.
So like, what was the reason why you support Donald Trump then? By the way, Katie, thank you so much for the $25 on Venmo. Lola, thank you so much for the $3. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's amazing to hear. That's amazing to hear. And Estella, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. And Tish with the $2. Thank you. As well as Nick, thank you for the $5.
I mean, some things we only have, I guess not only, but a lot of times we pull from the internet and things that we think might be happening, and maybe they're not happening as much as the internet makes it out to be. But, I have a young kid in school, and when I hear things like teachers and the school systems kind of pushing things onto the students, it can be worrisome in terms of altering, what my kid might be thinking, because there's so much influence within the schools and how much time they spend there.
Wait, what's being pushed on children?
I guess it would be like the sexual beliefs and even the transgender thing. And I think if it's pushed too much, you can have a young kid really question where they stand.
What sexual beliefs?
I'd say that, like, sexual preferences and
Okay, so can you give me an example of how they're teaching sexual preferences to children?
It would just be like hearsay on the internet. I don't have any, facts. It's just, I'm not sitting here
is it just saying gay people exist? Or like, for example, if the teacher is gay, is it wrong for them to have a picture of them and their partner on their desk?
No, definitely not. It would be more so like pushing certain literature that
you'd have to be specific with what literature.
Yeah, no, I would if I was to, claim this as an absolute fact. But if you're just asking me, why I voted, and I'm hearing these things and it's just a concern of mine when, I'm not
Can
sure.
I ask you my next question? Do you think it's possible to be convinced to be trans or gay?
I'd say yeah.
Yeah. So you think that you as a kid could have been convinced to be gay? You think being gay is a choice?
I don't know. In a way, yeah. I mean,
yeah. So explain to me how being gay is a choice, because I don't have that choice. I'm straight. I could never choose to find a man sexually attractive. So explain to me how you could.
Okay, so maybe I shouldn't say a choice, but I would say that you're not born that way, but it can be instilled in you with enough influence at an early age, I guess.
Yeah, so how could someone have influenced you to be gay?
I mean, maybe if they caught me at an early enough age and I think just maybe being having it be talked about and having something I think about all the time, it may be something that's a little bit more acceptable and I don't know. I think it's.
So you're saying being acceptable would make you gay?
No, obviously not. But
yeah, so like I'm confused. How are we gonna cause children to be gay here? It's not a choice to be gay, right? If it's not a choice to be gay, could you please explain to me how we're gonna be convincing children to be gay? It's literally just that children who already were gay will be accepted in coming out as gay. It's not gonna be that children become gay. That's not going to happen. That's not how it works. You can't just like cause someone to be gay by like getting them to choose that. That's not how it works, right? You couldn't just tell me as a kid that gay people are accepted and valid and just think that I'm going to turn gay or something. That's nuts. I have a question. Do you think people whose parents are gay always end up gay?
No.
Okay. Why is that the case? Do you think that people whose parents are straight always end up straight? Hell no. So just because you grew up around a certain thing, whether it be straight relationships or gay relationships, is not going to make you straight or gay. The only thing that might lead to someone portraying themselves as a way they are not would be a society that stigmatizes them for being gay, for example. Then people will say they're straight when they actually are gay, right? Because of societal stigma. And that should never happen. No person who's gay should have to be like put into a circumstance where they feel like they need to be closeted in order to be safe.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And like that's the society that we want to create. We want to make it so that people don't have to be closeted to be safe, right? And that includes accepting people. And that's not going to turn kids to be gay and trans. That's not going to happen. You couldn't do that to me. You couldn't do that to anyone else, right? The only way in which that would be the case is if they're already gay or trans, you know? So the idea that it's being pushed onto children is ridiculous. The only thing that has been pushed onto children is the idea that they're cis and straight, meaning that they're not trans and straight. That's been the idea that's forced onto them consistently. And there are plenty of examples of this. Children who are gay, they were forced into heteronormative views, specifically that they could only view a relationship in the context of being straight, especially for those that are bi, as well in those contexts, specifically being forced on them to deny the other types of feelings that they would have, right? Both of those have, historically speaking, for people who are gay and for people who are bi, negatively impacted their ability to be themselves.
Yeah.
That's the indoctrination we should be against. That's the forcing of certain types of sexuality onto children that you should be against, right?
No, I'm definitely against that as well. I want people to be comfortable being, whoever they feel like being. It's just, and maybe the gay argument wasn't the best because it's just about attraction, but the trans argument being that, it's like, it's okay, if say I have a daughter, it's okay to be a boy, it's okay to be a boy, or, boys and girls are the same. And I don't know if I necessarily believe that that's as black and white as maybe the gay and attraction is, can lead to some confusion and something that a kid might believe for a little bit and then eventually pull back on and kind of feel like they were misled. And just I guess it's just, over concern for you.
The likelihood of that is incredibly low. And I just want to let you know, right now, the societal stigma targeted towards children that are trans, that there is no context in which a child would choose to be trans. Right? Like the level of societal stigma that you go through specifically for being trans is unbelievably high. Why would a cis child pretend to be trans? Right? Why would they ever do that? If some kid specifically has the thoughts about their gender where they're like, I'm not quite sure, let them figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with letting them figure it out? That's all we're saying, is letting them figure it out. Don't force it onto them. And it seems like people want to force being cis onto children, the idea that they're not trans onto children, and they want to force sexuality onto children, force them to be straight. And that's exactly what the left is advocating against. And then for some reason, people on the right want to portray us as the ones trying to force children to be a certain way. No, we're actually the ones that want to let children be themselves in that way. And we're not trying to force children to be that way. And we're advocating against it being forced onto children to be that way.
Right. I guess I feel like sometimes when people are so passionate about something and things have been one way for so long, in order for them to feel like they can fight it, they fight it to the extreme. So it's a concern of things, if the left or you may feel like for so long and currently, children are being forced to feel a certain way and straight and, I don't know the term, cis or, the gender that they were born as. The concern being that it could flip completely the other way and impact children is just a concern, I guess.
So this is just projection, because people who are straight and people who are not trans are for some reason scared that everyone is going to do exactly what they've done to trans people and to gay people. So it just sounds like projection. And we're saying, no, we don't want to force stuff onto children. We're saying that's not what's going to happen. And no, you're not going to be discriminated against. We're not going to discriminate against you. Dude, I'm straight. I'm not trans. Right? I'm not advocating to like discriminate against myself. That would be ridiculous, right? Lorelai, thank you so much. I really appreciate the hand heart.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Not so much discrimination, because I don't think it comes off that way even currently, as much as just a very strong influence. And if you strongly influence people in the other direction, it's not necessarily discriminating against yourself. Especially if that's the way you'd want things to be. And I'm sure you have more of like a balanced mindset, but it's the people that are extreme that that are concerning.
Yeah, and we're not the extremists. The extremists are the people that want to force people to be cis and straight. Those are the extremists. And for some reason, that's not talked about in our society. And it's only talked about that people are forcing the LGBTQ plus community on children. That's like so far from the opposite, from the truth. Like literally, like I don't know a single person that would advocate to literally force being gay and being trans on a children. I've literally not once ever heard that argument. I'm serious. Never once in my life have I ever heard that argument. And I would be genuine. I'd be like, I've heard this before once, but it's not most people that have it. I've never even heard the argument.
Well, it doesn't come in an obvious way.
No, literally, no one I've ever talked to holds the argument.
It's going to be very subtle. And I mean, people may not have said it, but when they're against certain things, that's kind of what they're saying without saying it. That's their concern. That people are, especially with children, they're the easiest to manipulate. So, and then if you have them, for a certain amount of time without, the parents' supervision and you do it in a subtle way to where it doesn't get back to you, I think that's people's concern.
Okay, so I think that's obviously not happening. You have no evidence of that happening. So, okay, let's go back. What is the reason why you support Donald Trump? Because this couldn't be the reason either, right?
Wait, why did my account say it's going to be banned? Because I'm not old enough. Did I put the wrong...
It doesn't say that. Where does it say that?
It says it on my screen.
What? Oh wait, I just got that. Your live is not eligible for recommendation because primarily directs people off platform. Oh, it's been doing this recently. I appealed it. I just said my stuff does not contain that.
It's saying something about my age.
I didn't see that. I got that I'm directing people off the platform. Everyone, I'd recommend to go over to the YouTube, everyone. Is he banned? His name changed? Okay. All right, I'll go to the next person. Oh, I did just see that. I apologize. I don't know why it banned you. I don't think you should have been banned. That's TikTok, man. I apologize. Hello? Okay, looks like there. You just directed people off the platform? Yes, I did. I did. Everyone, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. YouTube. By the way, no, you can say that on the live, and it doesn't do that. It just randomly does that every once in a while. It's actually it never actually goes through. Like I do it all the time without that happening. But everyone, yeah, go to YouTube for the 5.7 thousand people. Make sure to go to the YouTube, everyone. It's the reporting. Oh, also, yeah. By the way, if you report a guest, don't report it through the live. Try to go to their own account and then report them. Like separately. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hi, Parker.
How old are you?
I'm 20 and I'm from Congo.
Oh, for sure. I am just looking for people who do support Donald Trump, who specifically are American. I appreciate you coming up. Let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria listed on the screen, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen. Christopher, thank you for the $5. Maga cries. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
47.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
Oh, why so?
Because he's a boss president. He's kicking ass and taking names.
Okay.
You didn't hear what they put out about Obama recently?
What about him? Nessie, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much.
That they're investigating him for treason?
What treason?
Everything he did to Trump.
What is that? What was the treason?
Let's see. When he said that Trump was working with Russia, which he was not.
He never said Trump was working with Russia.
Russia collusion? Who came up with that?
It was an investigation, and they determined that Russia interfered in the 2016 election, and that was true.
No,
along with the idea
they
that
did not.
Russia, wait, hold up, along with the idea that there were people on Trump's administration that were working with Russia. So that they did look over that. Now, can you define treason for me, please?
It's when you fuck over your own country and you're the president.
So, like inciting a violent insurrection at the Capitol?
Did they get Trump for treason?
And also, fucking over your country is not treason. You got to be more specific.
Okay, exactly what Obama did. Exactly what Hillary Clinton did. Exactly what a lot of people on the left did to try to prevent Trump from winning. Letitia James, court cases. Adam Schiff. All kinds of people did whatever they could do to make sure Trump did not win. Why were they so scared of Trump winning?
You're not defining treason, and then I'd love to continue on with that. We can talk about how you think that they were trying to quote unquote prevent Trump from running.
Okay, when you have private meetings, you can go on the DOJ website and look all this up.
Private meetings? What private meetings?
That Obama had. Like I said, there's a whole list of evidence that is out, and it's too much for me just to recite to you. I don't have a computer.
You can't
right in
recite
front
to
of
me any of it. You can't tell me what treason is. You can't tell me specifically what private meetings Obama engaged in that were treason. That's ridiculous. Theta, thank you so much for the $20 on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much, Theta. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You don't want to pull it up because you don't want to prove yourself wrong. You'd rather just try to...
They are trying so hard.
Try to knock me and act like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, okay, I was just saying you don't know what you're talking about.
I just told you where to get the information on what I'm talking about. But you still don't want to look it up because it'll prove you wrong.
I
did look up a lot of stuff, Parker.
I did look it up already.
And what does it say?
It says that he did not commit treason.
Then you're not looking at the same thing.
Yeah, there's no treason that Obama committed. Private meetings are not evidence of treason. You have to be specific. What was the specific treason he committed?
Why don't you just look it up and help us out? I told you I don't have a computer right in front of me.
Kathy, thank you so much for the $25 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Kathy. I really appreciate it.
There's about 5 pages worth of stuff.
So you said 5 pages, and you don't have the ability to look through it. So again, you can't tell me specifically any of these contexts. So then you can't claim that he's committed treason. So then do you want to go to an argument that you can argue on the live? Because clearly you can't argue that Obama's committed treason. And I actually promise you any definition you provide of Obama. Go ahead.
What I argued was he was being accused of it.
Okay, wait.
I never said
Trump has been accused of treason.
Yeah, but this is new. This just came out.
Okay, well, I don't really
Trump
care.
is being accused for a lot of shit for a long time, and he's president.
I don't care that Obama's been accused of treason specifically by Donald Trump because he's trying to distract away from the Epstein files. Like I don't care about that false
accusation. So you don't think the FBI that hated Trump and everybody on Joe Biden's team couldn't wrestle up some evidence that Donald Trump did shit illegally with Epstein? You don't think that they would have proved that with all the bullshit court cases they had?
They were sealed.
If they had, because they were sealed.
Yeah.
Really?
And they released stuff they did have access to, like the flight logs.
So who could unseal them?
That would be the court system.
So Joe Biden, that had the court system wrapped around his pinky because multiple states had Trump in court cases. You're still trying to make excuses.
Wait. Joe Biden didn't create... Okay, so then if they created and manufactured the Epstein files because they have all of this power, like Donald Trump claims, if it's a hoax created by the Democrats, then why didn't they release it?
I never said that. You love putting words in people's mouths.
Wait, but Trump believes that.
Trump believes what?
Trump believes it's a hoax. created by the Democrats.
No, he does not. He knows exactly what's going on with it. Why do you
show
think
you the
he
tweet
made-
of wait, do you want me to show you the tweet of him saying the Epstein files were a hoax created by the Democrats?
Whatever.
Whatever. I know you just proved me wrong, but whatever.
No. I mean, you can show me a tweet all you want, Parker. You love to get excited when the pom-poms are up for you. But when somebody's schooling you about some shit that you don't want to know about, you won't go educate yourself on it.
What'd you school me on? You didn't school me on shit.
Because you don't want to educate yourself on it.
You are not educated on it. What are you talking about? You didn't even know what you were referencing. So shut up. If you haven't read it, if you don't even know what the hell you're talking about, why the hell should I read it?
Go to the Department
All you
of
did was
Government.
say it was an accusation. Do you accept accusations as true?
Oh, I know it's true because it's been said in court multiple times.
So something said in court means it's true? It was said
From
that Donald
multiple
Trump raped
people.
E. Jean Carroll in court.
Oh, yeah. No, not everything said in court is true. I mean, you get so flamboyant about this shit, bro. Calm down.
Wait. What is
You just told
flamboyant
the other
mean?
dude you're not gay, but
wait,
I
I
swear
have a
you
question.
got-
I have a
you got
question.
feathers
What's wrong
ruffling
what's
your
wrong
shit
with
every
being
day.
what's wrong with being quote unquote flamboyant?
That's not manly. You know that, right?
Wait, I'm confused. Is being
You
a
can be
man
flamboyant all you want.
Wait, so do you agree that being a man is not based in biology?
Oh, most definitely is based on biology. And then
Yo, dude, accidental ally moment. Let's go. Woo! Let's go.
We got one.
Accidental ally on the stream. Look at that. He just said that gender, being a man, is not based on the biology, huh?
See, there you go again. Putting words in people's mouths, dude.
Well,
that's what
what
makes people so mad. And they want to just.
Dude, that's what you just argued.
I did not just argue that.
Wait, you just said that I
just
wasn't
said
being
you're
manly.
acting flamboyant. That doesn't mean that you're not a
flamboyant?
man.
What is flamboyant?
Okay, what is it when a man acts like a woman?
Wait, what does flamboyant mean?
What is it when a man acts like a woman, Parker?
You're saying drag.
Okay.
Like, so do you want me to show you JD Vance engaging in drag?
Sure.
Okay.
We can also look at Tim Walz too.
I mean that W drag if Tim Walz engaged in drag.
Yeah. I mean, that's their preference. Who cares? So now you're acting like it's a bigger deal showing people doing this. You know, Trump has had gay weddings at Mar-a-Lago. He has gay people working on his cabinet.
Wait, hold up.
Rick Grinnell was one of the first gay. Awesome. That don't even look like him, but sure.
That doesn't look like JD Vance?
It looks like his fat homie.
One, don't make fun of people for their body size. Two, this is clearly JD Vance. You did just make us uncomfortable, apparently. And I got another flag, so I'm gonna hit a quick restart, everyone. I'm gonna hit a quick restart. There's another flag. Oh, that was an accident. Hold up. There we are. I'm gonna what's called hit a quick restart, everyone. I will be right back. I've got another hour or so left on the stream. I'm gonna hit a quick restart for the 5.3 thousand. For the 5.3 thousand on the stream here on TikTok. Make sure to follow me here if you haven't already. Make sure to come over to YouTube. I would really appreciate that. Go over to YouTube. I'd really appreciate that, I tell you. I'll be right back, everyone. Literally 30 seconds. All you have to do is go onto my account. You click on my account. All you have to do is refresh in about 20 seconds or so. Refresh. You should see around my profile picture, it will have this thing that says live. All you have to do is click on that, and it should take you right back into the live. Wait, actually, I just lost my guest access. That's fantastic. I just lost guest access. I literally was just about to end the stream. Bruh. Are you serious? I was just about to end the stream. Let me see if it actually sends. Appeal submitted. View details. Appeal and review. Okay, alright. It looks like I sent the appeal. I'll go to my other account, everyone. Parker Get a Real Job. So everyone here on TikTok, all you have to do is go to Parker Get a Real Job. I'll put the @ on the screen right now. @ Parker Get a Real Job, everyone. Let me pull up this and I'll put at Parker get a real job. Actually, we could just do different text, actually. Actually, you can just look it up. Everyone look up at Parker get a real job. Go over